38M, my 34F wife might be cheating on me with her colleagues. I 35M and my wife 34F have been married for 6 years now and have a child together. A few months ago she said that she wanted to start working now that our child started going to school and she's feeling bored at home. So I have a good position and I pulled some strings to get her a position at my company, different department. Everything was good at first. She would take lunchtime with me. We'd eat together, travel together to and from home. Around a month later, she started behaving different. She would hang out more with her colleagues. All male. Around 5 of them and her. I asked about it and she said they're her good friends. Eventually she stopped adjusting her lunch to match my lunchtime. I'd often see her sitting with those guys during lunch. Even though there are women in her department and they sit separately, my wife still sits with these guys. Eventually sometimes she would say she'll come home late as they all are going out somewhere. I try to be supportive and allow. But she comes home really late and a little drunk. Last week I was passing by the cafeteria to my director's office when I saw that she was sitting in one of the guys' lap. I asked her about it later that day and she said that all chairs were full and that I am being too possessive and I need to relax and trust her. I do trust her and I know I might be overthinking. But I am just worried. Do you think something might be going on behind my back? Your wife is sitting in another man's lap at work, in front of other people, and you have to ask if she's cheating? Next post. Caught my wife kissing another guy in the cleaning supplies closet, is she cheating? Who sits as another colleague's lap at work at lunch? That's very inappropriate, not to mention very awkward for you as well. She can't honestly think that this is normal and okay. Your wife sitting on another guy's lap and you've seen it, then you allow her to gaslight you into thinking you're possessive. Bro, find your self-respect and set some boundaries or walk away. Personally, I would have ended the relationship. Yeah, she is cheating on you. Tell her that she stopped caring about you and your feelings. The way you see it, she is already emotionally cheating on you. She definitely is. And considering how little she cares, maybe physically as well. Tell her that you can't make her care about you, but will not stay with a cheater. Basically, she either stops seeing them outside work or you need to leave her. By the way, ask her to show you her phone, social media messages. She might not be cheating, but sitting on a guy lap at work shouldn't be happening. I, 36M, noticed that a parking ticket made wife, 33F, act weird. Hello. First time posting, but today when my wife and I got home from work, we came in and got the kids inside and she checked the mail as always. After coming inside she handed me a letter addressed to me, and when I opened it, it was a parking ticket issued at 2:55 a.m. on August 11 saying our car was parked there when it should not have been. I turned to her and asked if she knew anything about it, and she looked at it and wide-eyed for a moment before saying that's not our license plate. I went outside to double-check and it indeed was the right plate, and her response was, "Oh, we were at the cottage that day. Try again, we left the next day." All of a sudden she just calmly say, "I don't know, then maybe someone stole our car, but I have to go to my group." I am now sitting here trying to figure out what the hell happened. I know for a fact I was fast asleep at that time on that day, as I usually go to bed around 10:30 at night and she comes up later after I've fallen asleep. I am a really heavier sleeper and there is no way I would have woken up to someone leaving the house or taking the car. I am calling the city it was issued from tomorrow to see if maybe they made a mistake, but if they say they didn't, I am not sure what to do. Do I press my wife to see if she went out at that time? Or do I just let it go and pay the ticket? Figure out what building is located where the ticket was issued. House, apartment, hotel? Get all the information before discussing it with her. She will just deny it all. Most likely, it was a hookup and she is cheating. Yeah, whatever she was doing there, she wants to hide. Just ask to check her phone and search all texts and email related to that night. If she says no, or if you see that some messages were deleted, then you have you answer. I'd try to check location history on her phone first, then have another conversation about it with her. If she generally has her phone with her and you can access that, you'll have more information going into the conversation if she tries to lie. What's the address for? Also, put a cheap GPS tracker on your car. Or check her Google Maps history if she uses Android. X, M31. Contacted me, F30, after a decade. We had a baby after 6 months or so of dating and he left me during the pregnancy. We were very young and I was angry for a long time. We used condoms and I was on the pill, so I understand why he was upset. I couldn't bring myself to abort. 0 contact since serving him child support, and no support payments. I've been in therapy for about a year and let go of a lot of the anger and self-loathing I was carrying. We've both had significant relationships since we were together that have ended, in his case fairly recently. He seems to be proposing a reconciliation, as well as meeting our child for the first time. I don't know much beyond this initial contact, but it has freaked me out. I don't harbor any ill will towards him, but while I feel fairly neutral, I do not understand his motives, and I have been fairly naive in the past. Any advice on probing him without offending him? He obviously has rights to see my child, but I want to mitigate harm as much as possible. 10 years is a long time with hopefully a lot of change. So part of me is happy for the chance at a new beginning, but part of me doubts he can overcome a 10-year absence. Has he been paying child support? If not, I'd ask him to make back payments before I'd allow him to form a relationship with my child. If he has, then I'd suss him out and his intentions before introducing your child, as you don't want to cause your child any more heartache like you experienced if he decides to leave again. He seems to be proposing a reconciliation, as well as meeting our child for the first time. I wouldn't entertain this at all. He ghosted you a decade ago, no relationship with the kid, doesn't pay child support. And now he just pops back up out of the blue and wants to try a relationship again and play daddy? I wouldn't set my kid up for the massive disappointment. Wait. What? He seems to be proposing a reconciliation. He wants to get back together? After 10 years no contact? Any man who abandons his child isn't worth a second of thought. First, ask him if his recent split was because they found out he's a deadbeat dad and he's trying to reach out so that he can say he's not a deadbeat. M. 30, F. 22 girlfriends cries out that I am not rich. Hi guys. My girlfriend of 1-year relationship recently started to complaining to me about my inability to pay for her. With tears in her eyes, I quote, "My other ex-boyfriends would buy me Gucci, Chanel bags and spend a lot of money on me. They would cover all my costs. I never had to pay for anything myself. When I meet my friends that have rich boyfriends and buy them Gucci, Chanel and you can't, it makes me uncomfortable. That's why I don't want to meet them." My perspective: I recently put all my money into a new company and it's going well. It probably takes a year or so to get rolling. When we do go out to date, I would spend about 80-20 ratio for our daily costs. Girlfriend would spend her money on partying with friends and on herself. Now when I wasn't able to financially support us as before, she would still party, but when she doesn't have enough money she would feel uncomfortable when I mentioned that she should manage her money better and save it for necessaries instead of partying. The monologue above played out. Who is at fault here? Do we not fit together? She's looking for a sugar daddy, not a partner. I hope the sex is good, because you're paying for it. A post you made 2 years ago, you claimed to 18, now you're 30? You have a girlfriend that is 8 years younger than you, is probably very attractive and has grown up accustomed to having nice things. Her reality is a small bubble of wealth and privilege, and you are not maintaining that false sense of reality for her, so she is having anxiety about it. Either she is going to change and accept less stuff, or you aren't the man she needs to maintain that mirage. I'd take a 50-50 straight-up bet on the latter 100% of the time. Even if you were the man, is that what you want? I would hope not. She can't be comfortable except with Gucci, Chanel and the like? Goddamn. Are you dating a functional human being?